Now, your Don't Wait weather with Norm Hoffman.
Well, the upper low is moving slowly toward the Pacific Northwest. High pressure still trying to build back over Southern California. Your forecast: patchy low clouds and locally dense fog, 54 to 57 and 56 to 60. A fairly mild night overnight, but by afternoon, mostly sunny, 68 to 78, 78 all the way up to 98. Light northwest winds, and that's your Don't Wait weather.
Emmy winner for Best Newscast for the second straight year. In high definition, this is Central Coast News right now.
In an era when most every city or county is cutting back and laying off workers, we're learning of one local office that needs to hire help so badly it's being called an emergency. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mark. This is Jazz.
So the reason for that? Too many criminals have been caught. It's a strange problem to hear about, and it's plaguing Santa Cruz County. Today, District Attorney Bob Lee said his office is now forced to consider emergency measures to add staff it desperately needs. It's all because there are too many trials set to take place for serious crimes, gang violence, and homicides, like this one earlier this month at a Burger King off Mission Street. Lee said he won't have enough inspectors and attorneys to properly investigate and prosecute the existing caseload. Lee said, quote, "The situation is untenable. We have reached a breaking point and are stretched too thin. We need immediate help as there is an unprecedented number of homicide jury trials set in the next 2 months." So what's next? He sent a letter to the county administrative officer today outlining those concerns, urging immediate emergency action be taken. He is now just waiting on a response.
Well, right now, a 14-year-old girl who vanished yesterday morning after taking out the trash is still missing, and the search is heating up. Tonight, Margarita Chaparro's family thinks a family friend took her from their Hollister home, and they are extremely concerned about her safety. Today, police identified Jose Arellano as a suspect driving a light gray Chevy four-door truck with a license plate number of 77106H1. A few days ago, neighbors told the family that Arellano was seen driving away from the family's home. The Chaparro family there in Hollister says they've known Arellano for about a year and said Margarita's father recently told him to, quote, stay away from his daughter. Unfortunately, investigators said they don't know where people should be looking, leaving the family feeling helpless.
We don't know anything about my younger sister. We don't know if she's okay. We don't know if she's still alive. I'm scared that he may have sold her. He may have killed her. He may have, I don't know, taken her into prostitution.
Well, as the community tries to track her down, Staples donated 1,000 free flyers to the family, and several groups have been handing them out.
Well, right now, a 6th U.S. warship is stationed off the coast of Syria as the world watches and waits to see if the U.S. launches a strike. The decision to strike could really come down any time now, and we've been monitoring that here on the feeds. Well, the Obama administration detailed what it said is evidence that President Bashar al-Assad's regime used chemical weapons that killed more than 1,400 of their own people. President Obama says he is not considering sending U.S. troops to Syria like boots on the ground, but cruise missiles might deliver the message to the Syrian president that the use of chemical weapons will not be tolerated.
This kind of attack threatens our national security interests by violating well-established international norms against the use of chemical weapons.
The administration released an intelligence assessment that says the U.S. has high confidence the Syrian regime attacked civilians with that nerve gas last week. Meantime, the Syrian government is calling the Obama administration's claims flagrant lies and equated them to President Bush's pre-war claims about Iraq. So if the U.S. decides to launch a strike, the only major ally it has by its side is France. Mark?
All right, Jazz, we know it's Friday, but Salinas police are trying hard to identify this woman wanted for grand theft. They say after an elderly man left his card at an ATM at Comerica Bank on South Main Street, she took the card and withdrew more than $1,000. If you recognize the woman in these surveillance photos, call 1-800-78-CRIME. And sheriff deputies are looking for a man who exposed himself to girls waiting for a school bus this morning. It happened in Castroville in the area of Cielo Azul and and Agua Dulce. The man in his 50s with short blonde hair was driving a white 90s model Chevy Suburban. The girls noticed small black and white skull stickers along the back window. Happening right now, the Monterey County Fair is in full swing and attendance is up, and that means more people and more alcohol sales, a revenue stream that is vital to keeping the fairgrounds running. But where does the fair draw the line between alcohol sales and public safety? Our Ricardo Navarro on scene at the fairgrounds to explain the steps organizers are taking to make sure that everyone is safe. Ricardo?
Well, Mark, the fair has 5 different bars on site that serve alcohol, but only one full bar that serves hard liquor, which is this one right behind me. Now, they just stopped serving alcohol and all of the fair at 10 o'clock. They do this 1 hour every night prior to closing at 11. That's just one of the ways that servers can maintain control over people that just have had one too many. After carnival ride sales, alcohol sales bring in the most revenue during the fair. But that can sometimes mean rowdy crowds.
There's always a lot of people who, may have had one too many.
Monterey County Fair CEO Kelly Violini said the fairgrounds has a contract to sell alcohol all year long, and it contributes to keeping the fair running.
With that said, there's also a huge responsibility that comes with it, and money is never as important as a person's well-being.
That is why the fair only has one full bar. The other 4 only serve beer, wine, and margaritas. In addition, all servers on site have to have a lead training card through the Alcoholic Beverage Control. In order to get that, servers must go through a 4-hour training.
All of our servers learn how to check identification, how to tell if somebody is maybe too intoxicated to keep on drinking, and how to serve and pour the right amount of liquor.
But if things do get out of hand, the Monterey Police Department, the Probation Department, and the fairground security guards are there to help. Monterey police say what can be tricky is when people drink off-site and then come inside. Violini said that's when the training servers took should come into play.
You definitely need to watch out for that behavior.
So far, there have been no alcohol-related incidences, and fairground organizers hope that doesn't change, as well as the spike in attendance. Now, a representative from the Alcoholic Beverage Control is here and watches servers to make sure that they are following the rules. The CEO says that's just another precaution that the fair takes. But Norm, it has been a beautiful night, and just earlier tonight, it was nice and sunny. I know that you're in the studio watching the radar. Make sure that it's going to be like this for the rest of the weekend, Norm?
Yeah, we're keeping an eye on it, Ricardo, and let's take a look at the maps. And right now, there are no clouds except right along the coast. And let me draw that line for you. Right along this area along the coast, still offshore, so clear skies right now. Your forecast for the weekend. Night and morning, coastal low clouds and fog, otherwise sunny, and highs 67 to 70. It will be a little cooler on Monday, but if you're out at the fairgrounds, you may need that sweater in the evening, but it should be awful nice. Mark, Jazz, I'll send it back over to you guys.
All right, Norm, thanks. We asked you at home, what do you do first at the fair? Gabe said just 2 words, funnel cakes, while Cindy seems to agree, but she put the whole list on here. She says calamari, orange Julius, garlic fries, funnel cakes, and cinnamon rolls.
Well, Shirley said, let's pull her comment up. She hits the Home Arts building. First and foremost, Connie said she's never been to the fair.
Oh, no.
Connie, you and we're going to go check it out. All right, let's get to this fire alert, though. The Rim Fire near Yosemite will smoke out those holiday plans as it is now burning more than 213,000 acres. What's now the 5th largest fire in state history is just 35% contained. The National Guard helping in the battle, more than 100 structures destroyed and more than 5,000 still threatened.
Positive local news. A local school resource officer turned his old office space at Live Oak High School into a log cabin oasis, all for the kids. Mike Nelson spent $1,000 of his own money over 4 weekends of off-duty time and turned his office into a welcoming school resource office. He said after 10 years of being a school resource officer, he just wants students to feel comfortable, a way to cultivate a stronger relationship with local officers. All right, most schools back in session, and during these tough economic times, our goal is to help teachers teach by giving them the supplies that they need for their classrooms.
I love these stories. We have teamed up with Block Construction for another school year to choose a teacher every month and provide that $500 check for a classroom makeover. It doesn't look like it, but we're at an elementary school in King City, Del Rey Elementary, in their Life Lab garden.
And Mr. Costi here has no idea we're coming. He has big plans on how to spend this cash.
Uh-oh. Guess what, kids? This is a classroom makeover. What a way to start off the school year, right? We have a big check here from Central Coast News for your teacher.
Can you believe it? This money is going to be for something special. I've been wanting to improve our Life Lab, our garden, and so this is going to help a lot.
Can we go take a peek at that?
Sure, we can go out to the garden. You guys want to go to the garden?
So here we are. Tell us what it's all about and what you want to use the money for.
Okay, well, I'm going to use this $500 mostly to build some more boxes, some more classes can come out and enjoy using the garden. And probably maybe some of it will go to seed stock and to refinish some tools that we need.
So you have a passion for this, I can tell.
Well, we've been at it for a while, and you know, just trying to get the kids an opportunity to learn more about agriculture in our country.
You know what's so cute? One little guy there in the class said, $500, that's great. What about $100 million?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, I said, we'll work on that. But I was so impressed. There were actual tomatoes there. The vine was full, so we picked a few, and the kids just love that. They work so hard.
All right, still ahead here on Central Coast News. The full weather forecast for your holiday weekend is next. Then Bob Filner out as San Diego mayor. We're going to hear from the man taking his place for now.
Also controversy why notorious serial rapist in Southern California could be a free man at any time.
Central Coast News and Block Construction are proud to recognize the contributions of our teachers and congratulates this month's $500 classroom makeover recipient.
$500! This money is going to be for something special.
To be considered for a classroom makeover, visit KIONRightNow.com and click Classroom Makeover at the top of the homepage.